heart of Savannah, where history and legend intertwine like the branches of ancient trees, there exists a world unseen by the ordinary eye. Here, the past refuses to stay buried, and the night is alive with secrets. Welcome to a city where the veil between the living and the dead is as thin as the morning fog, where creatures of legend walk among us, hidden in plain sight, and ancient pacts still hold sway over the living and the supernatural alike. From the restless spirits that roam the old plantations to the mythical beings lurking in the shadows of the city's winding alleys, Savannah is a place where every street corner hides a tale, and every nightfall brings a new chapter in a story as old as the city itself. This is the story of Savannah's secrets, where the supernatural is not just a whisper in the wind, but a pulse that beats through the very soul of this haunted city. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Welcome to Mythic Savannah.
go. We are back once again. We are live. We're missing some people for tonight's game. So right now, we are currently staring at Brittany's wonderful IKEA unit as she is off making dinner, I believe. Maybe Shadow will grace us with their presence. I don't know. How we determine that. But we actually missed our first game this month. So we have to roll for XP. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So can we get somebody to roll for XP? And then, of course, we will wish, even though he's not in the chat, we will wish Davey a happy birthday. It is his birthday today.
Yay, happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Davey.
You may see it on the replay. Happy birthday.
5.
Oh!
Nice.
Max XP.
Nice.
Cool.
And we are waiting for Abby to eventually jump online. She should be here shortly. She got back kind of late. So while we are doing that, from the ever-extensive collection of notes that Rachel took, Rachel, can we get you to do a game recap?
Sure.
From a month ago.
Do my best. Last episode was the opening of season 2. And we basically started out with Lillian, Char, and Petra basically talking about the aftermath of, what happened with the Princess Haven and sort of the events following it. They confirmed that Daniel Parker was behind the attacks. I think we already knew that on the Princess Haven. And his men were the ones that were found in St. Augustine. He was interrogated. He did meet the final death. We did find out that he was after the chalice as well. The keeper, Jason, also met his final death too. After that, basically, we got warnings from Lillian not to basically use our cell phones or try to keep them low key, just because the emitters are being placed around and calls, basically are connecting through those and potentially being monitored because of that. So it's a risk. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta look at the notes here. Okay, so I think we inquired about basically how Petra inquired about how things were on sort of their side, and Lillian's been kind of inundated with basically ghosts and contact from like the other side. We also have a new potential ally, Raymond Daughtry. He's with the Agency for Paranormal Containment and Resolution. Lillian had been in contact with Ashlyn and basically confirmed, that they had dealt with him before. He's a bit of a hard person to deal with. Well, not deal with, but he's just more of a strict person. But he's okay to work with. And on following that, the prince is actually considering working with other soups at this point. They've already been working with some supernaturals, but he's open to potentially more alliances with that. Let's see here. Everybody ended up meeting up. We actually, I think it was one of Mr. Vidious's guys, Clive, I think it was. Sorry, I don't have it listed here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Well, anyway, our meeting with Mr. Vidius basically was that we would need to tighten things up. The agreement that we used to have before pretty much can't exist anymore because of all the changes that have happened, and now that there's a supernatural awareness amongst muggles, that we now are pretty much under a contract. It's no longer
that wasn't Mr. Vidius. I don't know why you put that on your notes.
Well,
you guys actually directly spoke to the Taipan.
Oh, okay. So I misunderstood that part then.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, that was from the
that wasn't Clive. It was the boss guy.
Okay.
One of
I posted those notes over 3 weeks ago. Somebody could have said something back then. Anyway, After that, I mean, we talked about Joe and kind of the changes that she's experiencing now that she's a Nephilim. She did find out that she is apparently descended from Azazel, who is Tom McMillan in game. And she found out about this because she had a little bit of a dream that were spicy at first, and then realizing who it was. Apparently, the Watchers would do this to keep the lineage going, and so I apparently am a byproduct of that over the generations.
Yep.
So that's it.
Azazel shoplifted the Pootie.
Yep. Not like she was complaining, apparently. So, you know. Oh, and there was a suggestion to go looking at the Midnight Augury about potentially finding something to help us sort of jam communications and things like that. Try to keep a lower profile on the electronic side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's it.
And there we go. So we are now back in game. I don't think we went anywhere based on the notes. Everybody was still in town.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
So it is, and while we are waiting for Abby, it is the next day after that particular meeting. You guys have obviously had your discussions with the Taipan, the benefactor, obviously. I will leave it up to all of you. What is it that you were doing as of this point, the next day?
So let's see. Sly would be knocking on Cade's door, assuming Cade still lives in one of those bungalows on the plantation.
Yes.
Okay. So knocks on his door. Boom, boom, boom. Is Cade there?
Yeah, I think Kate will come and answer the door.
Cade, been a while. How have you been, my friend?
I've been better. How have you been following all that has transpired?
Well, not too bad, actually. With what happened, it's opened my eyes a bit. I haven't heard from you. I didn't want to bother trying to interrupt you. I know it was a rough thing we all went through about a month ago, but just wanted to make sure you're all right.
To tell you the truth, I am not feeling the best. I'm glad that things have been resolved. Apocalypse has been averted, but I still feel like there's a lot of unexplained. There's a lot that still is out there that does not sit well with me. I'm not quite sure how I want to proceed about it.
Did you want to talk about it? Elaborate? Have you eaten anything yet? Can I take you anywhere? Seems like you have a lot on your mind.
I believe that this conversation would best be kept in private. If you want to step in, I have no. Yeah, it might be best if I kind of put this by you first, rather than just sit and mull things around in the dark as I try to come to my own conclusions.
Right. Good thinking. Sure. So he'll step inside.
Right. Yeah, his place is a mess. I think Kate is usually pretty fastidious about keeping things in order, but I think his room kind of reflects his state right now, where it's like it's not like gross. It's not like a hoarder's home, but it's definitely like it doesn't have the same sense of order that it usually does.
Okay.
It does not spark joy.
Nothing sparks joy.
Oh no. Okay. I was like, so hit me with it. What's rattling around up there?
I have been I've been thinking about the events of the past few months, and I am starting to wonder about what is my place here. Now that the now that the immediate world-ending event is over, I'm left in a bit of a, well, now what do I do? There's a bit of, well, I have made some friends here. I've made some connections here, and he gestures to you. But I am, you know, when I first met you all, they asked me, and I asked me what I was, and I spoke truly then that I am a knight. I am used to, war is not unknown to me, especially not this kind of war. I'm definitely not as comfortable with it being in the forefront, being where everybody can see it. That is definitely not ideal. There's nothing we can do about it, though. However, as a knight, one of the things that I'm most accustomed to is if I am shoulder to shoulder with other knights, we are all under the same banner. We are fighting the common enemy. We look out for each other. There is respect that goes back and forth. However, I do not feel, since arriving in Savannah, that even though I would like to believe that we are all under the same banner, I do not believe we are united as I would like to hope that we are. You did not make it into the church when we were going to rescue Petra.
Right.
Did you hear about what we found there?
A bit. I heard that you were able to find the chalice, which then exploded. We saw the result of that. But beyond that, clearly you found Petra. I believe Sean was there as well.
Yes. Were you aware that that her son is a hunter, or is at least affiliated with such?
I was getting that idea, seeing the guy a little bit, yeah.
Yes.
It does seem that Petra had a few different allegiances that wouldn't mesh well. Is that what's been bothering you primarily?
I have a lot of as the kids say, beef with how things have been going. That is the biggest one, because my squire Nigel was killed by these people.
Right.
As much as I am loath to blame this on another person within our group, the fact of the matter remains is that there is no sense of unification. There is no banner in this group, and that does not sit well with me. There is a lack of trust, which to a certain extent I understand with supernatural peoples. It can be hard to put your trust into other people. However, how many more people must we see get exploded with lightning before we have to realize that this is just, we're fighting against each other? If the whole plan was to destroy the chalice, would that not have been our plan to do so in the first place?
I get what you mean. It makes sense. Everyone has their background that they didn't want to reveal to others for whatever reason. Everyone has their reasons. I know I had mine. But I think you're making good points here, especially it seems that we've all been through enough for everyone to be at least more open with what we're fighting for, who we're fighting for, if we're even fighting. which I have a feeling with how the world has been taking what happened a month ago, there may be more fighting ahead, but a different type of battle. So, probably makes sense if we really all gathered, see if we can clear the air, see if we can gain that trust.
I think that sounds right. I blame myself for not being able to protect Nigel from what happened to him. But it's a absolute dishonor that I can't just forget.
I hear you. Okay. How about I call everybody who's available, see if we can maybe meet at the NOS branch or something and hash things over. See if we can get everybody on the same page once and for all.
Sure, I appreciate that. Thank you for listening. I apologize for not being more. I've had felt a lot. I think I needed a lot of time to think.
It's quite all right. I don't know if you heard, but Charles, he had to leave. He needed time apparently to just absorb what was going on and needed a clean break. So he's not in Savannah at the moment, in case you were wondering, but let me go ahead and contact others, see who we can get.
That is a shame. He's a good lad. I wish him the best.
I think he'll do well wherever he goes.
Yeah.
So Sly goes ahead and sends a text to the group saying, hey, whoever's available, let's all meet at the NOS branch to go over some things.
Petra will text the group and say, "That's great. I was on my way there. Have a potential job for us."
See you shortly. And then he looks to Kate and he's like, well, so far Petra's on her way there already. Seems she even has a possible task for us. So let's head there. Let's talk. Figure things out.
Very well.
So walk out with Kate and we head to NOS.
All right. Rachel, I'm going to assume Rachel, Brittany, you guys already are going to be en route.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'll meet up with them. And
Sure.
as far as like what Joe's been doing sort of in the downtime, she's still going to stick to her normal sort of schedule because only the immediate group really knows that she's changed versus others. So I'm going to continue to keep that that habit. Yeah, basically kind of keep low. But has there been any word on the shop reopening or anything?
Well, it's only been
of
one
that
day,
nature?
but nothing.
Oh, it's only been a day. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, and then yeah, I'll go to the meeting.
All right. Well, I will let you guys pick it up from there. You don't need me to provide descriptions. You guys know what the place looks like. It is 1 in the afternoon at this point, so daytime. There is very little in the way of traffic still. Obviously, people are still concerned about going out, much like COVID era populations and whatnot. People are still kind of leery about being out and about.
You said this is in the daytime?
It is in the daytime, yes.
What time?
1 in the afternoon.
Crap. All right.
It has been over a month since your transformation, so maybe she could have like
dabbled in. I probably would have gone out in disguise, to be quite frank. Like,
There
Okay,
you go.
so she's
So,
got
yeah.
the glasses with the fake nose and eyebrow.
I'm an incognito. Like, I still don't just trust like going out. And even then, like her eyes are like, she can't. She's not used to it.
Sure.
Cool. So then Sly and Cade will walk in. Petra probably got there first before everybody, so they'll walk in and be like, "Ah, Petra, how's it going?"
Well, the jury's still out on that one. But we're here. We're alive. We're here.
Yeah, a lot of emphasis on here. Yep, I agree.
How are you?
Doing well, living, thinking things through. Cade's been doing a little bit of the same.
Oh, you checked in on him.
Yeah.
He's still at Charlotte's place.
As he turns to Cade, like probably right outside the door or something.
Oh,
and then
right. I guess he
continues
would be
walking
there.
in.
You guys would have come over together. Good. It's good to see you. Yeah. Sorry, I've kind of had my hands full with family stuff.
Same as it ever was, I guess.
Only more. Yeah, I guess you missed all the excitement. Yeah, I'm gonna be a grandma again, which is very fun and unexpected. And Micah is. You didn't meet Micah, did you? My grandson. He's a werewolf. So it's taking some adjustment all around.
Congratulations, I suppose.
Thanks. I mean, if I'm honest, I feel a little bit outclassed in this group. But we're all here for a reason, even if we don't really know what that is. So, right. So I have been staying with the shifters, making sure that Courtney's doing okay, and for solidarity and security, and they have a certain property that is like a spiritual energy hub, I guess, that they sort of give their protection to. And Young and I were visiting the property and talking to some of the people that live nearby. And we spoke to a homeowner to kind of get a feel for perhaps what they're. So long story short, the shifters are thinking about relocating their residence to closer to their hub, or cairn as they call it. And so we were kind of talking to the neighbors and kind of feeling out whether anybody is interested in selling houses. And one of these homeowners was talking about a sort of a ghostly presence at their home. And so conveniently, we offered to come back with some of our equipment and check it out for them. So if you guys are amenable, I'd love to take you there. We've got a few hours still. They They asked us to come by closer to 5. But that's what I've been doing today.
Sounds good. Glad you're keeping busy. Before we engage in any activity like that, and since it seems like we've got a few hours to kill, Cade and I wanted to figure things out with regards to the group and everyone's allegiances and backgrounds and things that might come to bump in the night or come down upon us,
That makes
like what
sense.
happened
Things have been a
before.
little chaotic. We haven't really had a chance to sit down and get on the same page.
Right. Cade, did you want to start off with wanting to ask any questions or start the conversation?
Yes. To be perfectly honest, I'm not been doing very well the last month or so since our brush with apocalypse. Uh, Petra, it has been deeply troubling to me to know that your 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 tentative connection to the people that killed my squire, um it's I'm trying to be as diplomatic as I can be. uh my my concern with this group and my continued existence here in Savannah is I am used to, when I am fighting, to have a united front with my fellow knights, with the people that I'm engaging with. In this group here, the biggest trouble that I see, that is our biggest weakness, the one that lures enemies to our doorstep, is the fact that there is no sense of trust amongst anybody here. While I have always done my best to be forthright and be forthcoming with the group, there is a lot of secrecy that exists in this group that puts not just that person in danger, but that puts all of us in danger. And it is not just Petra, it is multiple of us that are. And I understand that secrecy and solitude is, there's a certain amount of that that is necessary in the life that we lead, where you know these things can come after you when you least expect it. However, if we are going to continue to operate as a group, I need to know that I can trust all of you. And quite frankly, at this moment, I don't. And I I want to address this because I think it is important if I'm going to continue to be here, and if we're going to continue, you know, going on things that are going to put not just us but our immediate families and the peoples that are important to us in danger. I want to know that you will fight as hard to protect the people around us and myself as I would fight to keep you know your son safe, your grandchildren safe, your daughter safe. um, I feel like we have done a lot. The whole group has done a lot in order to, I think, to what is the word, to
You've been team players and I haven't.
it's not just you though. I don't want this to feel, but your in your case, it is the one that I feel most deeply, unfortunately. Uh, well, I know that you are not an evil person. At least I do not get that sense. I could be completely wrong. Um, there is a certain amount of explanation I feel that I think we are all deserving of after everything that we've been through.
I don't disagree, and I have to apologize Probably to all of you, frankly. You're right. My people, people like me, we don't trust easily. We don't work well together. My family is the only group that I've had any loyalty to in a very, very long time. And I apologize. So that's something that I'll work on. And you have all definitely been there to help me when I've been in trouble and my family, and I need to do better to do the same. Gosh, be quiet.
I'm sorry.
Look,
All right, can you guys hear my messenger just going crazy?
No.
No.
that might be mine. I don't know. I
Oh,
couldn't
that's
hear it
good.
though.
Oh, good. Because that's good. Because I can hear it and it's driving me crazy.
Look, Kate,
Oh, you know what?
I get where you're coming from. Like, trust me. I had a lot. I still have trust issues. Like that's never going to change. Like, I still have enemies, but you know what? I can honestly say that I do trust you guys. My life has literally been in your hands, and you guys saved me. So, I, while I had reasons for my deception, and I still do, I still trust you guys despite everything. Because frankly, that whole thing was just, I think it was inevitable. So, um, yeah. So I don't have any issues at the moment. And I hope that you can figure out a way to resolve yours too, because I literally trust these people with my life now.
Well, then, as a show of good faith, being that everyone here has been through literally an end of the world scenario and come out clean on the other side, who all here is willing to announce who their allegiances are to currently? We all know that we're trying to be allied with ourselves, the NOS crew, but is anyone else here with anyone else? And to show good faith, I'll start. You all already know more or less what I am, and you generally know this body is technically just a host, but I remember the host's memories as well as my own. You could say that the house that I come from are known as devils. We were at once the heralds of other angels, and we would guide them to do what they needed to do long ago. Ever since the War of Wrath and my brethren were cast off into the abyss after we lost that war, different factions formed amongst demons. As far as what we would do if we could ever return to the earth and interface again with humanity. The group that I am a part of, the cast, what have you, is known as Luciferans. So named because we believed that trying to find our leader once again would be the primary goal once we were able to. He was the strongest and most courageous of us. It only made sense that we would find him again, since he was the one who was not cast into the abyss with the rest of us.
Your leader, Lucifer?
Lucifer, the Morning Star. The one.
Petra, give me a self-control check.
Oh.
Religious rage. No.
I don't have self-control. What do I?
You don't have any virtues?
Conscience, conviction, and courage.
Yeah, those were all virtues. So,
Yeah. Conscience?
uh,
Or,
it would be
no, because
whatever.
I didn't do anything.
If it would normally be self-control, I think
Conviction?
I think conviction is
conviction?
like
Weird.
the one. Yeah.
And Shelly used our new sound effect that we have on the soundboard. Weird.
And by the way, I could use a reroll.
Oh shoot.
2 successes.
Okay, 2 successes. All right, so you're able to sit through it. You know what he basically said, but I mean, this is of the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Lucifer being Kevin Bacon, you're one step away from Kevin Bacon.
Yeah,
And you
it feels
can't.
a little,
And right now, Petra's not like freaking. She's not grabbing her cross and trying to rebuke you or anything, but she absolutely cannot hide the Forrest Whitaker eye that she's got right now. She's just like,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so seeing that bit of a reaction, he's like, I understand. I get it. But whatever you can do to think of that entity as simply somebody who truly believed in what they were fighting for. Movies that you see, the books that you read, they don't get him right. Just try to keep that in mind if you can.
thinking outside the box.
Honestly, though, with regard to my allegiance there, I think I need to change it based on what we've all gone through. There are other factions. I don't think I really belong to the Luciferans anymore. It doesn't seem like the right thing to do.
Is that something you can do?
Hypothetically, I myself have never heard of one of us ever changing that type of allegiance. It's typically tough to change our minds until we find a host. Qualities of the mind are different.
Is that something that would get you in trouble with others of your kind?
There are 1 or 2 factions which that would absolutely get me in trouble, without question. And mine, I'm not quite sure. Especially based on what the world has just recently gone through. Maybe they'd have a change of heart, but unfortunately, I only know a few of my kind who are amongst mortal kind right now, so it's not like I can tap into a secret society like apparently the vampires can, or the shifting beings can, or what have you. But unless there are any other questions regarding my allegiances, would anyone want to go next?
Do you have like a organized hierarchy? Are you like in touch with each other? Is that how you work?
In a way, I am a being that cannot escape hierarchy. But oddly enough, since coming back here, it's not exactly that easy for us to find each other. When we take on a host. I mentioned earlier, the human mind has different qualities. Trying to mesh both minds together, sometimes you miss things. I remember a decent amount, but I don't recall everything. So if I remembered the names of all my brethren, which I would have, but that would make it easier, but I only know a few, so trying to find us tends to be difficult. I'm sure by now there's probably some cities, different parts of the world, who have a fair number of us, but I don't know where those are right now.
And Tom is like you too, right?
He is fallen, correct. Not the same house,
Oh,
but
interesting.
different.
Okay. Great.
So I'm
Well,
not sure like what kind of allegiance you're talking about. Like I trust you guys. I'm with you guys, but you guys already know I come from a different sort of history. I mean, technically I'm still an abomination of sorts. I mean, frankly, my extended family don't know what I've turned into, so for all they know, I'm still the abomination. So I still have enemies out there, but I trust you guys, and I would put my life on the line for y'all's too. But I don't know what kind of allegiance you're asking. Like I'm gonna do a sworn oath. Like my words should be enough. Like you guys did so much for me already that I'm gonna do so much for you too. I
Completely
don't know what else you
understandable.
want from that.
Really, we're just trying to find out, I think, primarily what would clash with us, since that's the problem we ran into before, not with you, but again, Nigel's demise. That
Yeah,
was a blow.
yeah,
And that
it
came
was.
from the non-mergence of backgrounds and allegiances some of us had with others, because we
Well,
happen to be the sworn enemies of certain groups.
well, I still obviously have connections with the vampire presence here just because of my own history. So I'm not going to ignore that, but I am changed now. I'm no longer technically one of them.
Right.
As she pulls her glasses in a little tighter and her hat down a little more. Um, but they don't know that I've changed. So I kind of have to still keep a low profile. But my allegiance, if you will, is with you guys, but I still have to maintain peaceful relationships with those that I have dealt with and still deal with.
Do you think anyone from the vampire circles, it seems, would any of them come after any of us that you know of?
With who is left, no, not that I'm aware of.
And would you
Especially
be
knowing that the prince wants to actually start working with other soups in light of the whole revelation that happened. So
okay?
I actually feel like maybe I could be perhaps one of those transition individuals potentially, because I understand what happens and I do kind of gap a bridge between those worlds in a way.
It's a good idea, actually. Okay. And would you be willing to let us know if any of us happen to have crosshairs on them coming from that
Yes,
direction?
I am willing to yeah. Just like I expect the same in return. Like if you get anybody that's asking maybe a little too many questions about other areas, perhaps that should be something that we bring up, so I can keep ears and feelers out, stuff like that.
Right. All right. Fair enough.
And
Who's
since
next?
there's a brief pause, Charlotte is technically here. We'll just say that she showed up, so that way we don't have to worry about like role playing or get there. Abby just managed to sneak in on us, so she's here.
we're
Sorry.
here to come to Jesus.
I will send you to Jesus.
Send you to Jesus. I love that.
Speaking of which, it's probably my turn. So I apologize for being the cause of a lot of this. I'm juggling a lot of plates, or have been. So, I have some association with the vampires. I guess I could tell you some of the story behind that. It goes kind of way back. I told you that my kind don't get along. When I first came to America, I was looking for an edge that would help me keep myself safe from others of my kind. And I had met vampires before in Europe. And so when I came to New York, I sought them out and posed as a ghoul for some time, so that I could learn fighting techniques from some people that were older than me. And
ghoul, that's like a servant to a vampire, is that right?
Right.
Something like that?
Right.
That is correct. Yes.
Human servants, typically used as utility or daytime helpers or just servants. And I did that for some time. And that's how I know a couple of people here in town, from that time. I ended up, when I came here, I should say when I was in Atlanta, when Sean and Courtney were kids, or young adults, I suppose. The Sabbat took over the city, and that's when I uprooted us after their dad had passed. I took them away from the city because I knew the Sabbat would not be safe to be around. And so we came here, set up shop, and a lot of other vampires from Atlanta also set up here. So that's kind of the story behind my association with them. They kind of understand that I have experience with their kind, so they have been kind enough to treat me as an equal, at least to, respect my autonomy and my business and such. So I owe them a little bit. We just work together as needed for mutual safety in the city. And now, obviously, I have a connection with the shifters, since they've taken my family in as their own. But of course, the one that you really are asking about is the religious one. So I was raised Catholic, even during the revolution, when the church was being overthrown. I found a lot of solace there, in convents and such. And as a woman traveling on my own, I spent quite a few years in convents, not as a nun per se, but centering myself, finding safety and hospitality. And so my allegiance to the church has never been a question for me. In as far as my own existence allows. When Sean went into the seminary, he was contacted by a group that saw his skills and recruited him into an organization of essentially hunters, and specifically vampire hunters. But
Seems they've branched out since then.
It's an old civilization, or an old organization, and as old organizations tend to do, it attracts some zealots and some dogmatic philosophies, and just as we may not know the whole story of Sly's people, a lot of knowledge has been misunderstood. I do see the need to have some hunting groups, because there are evil vampires, but Sean and I are actually part of a subgroup that seeks to discern between the good ones and the bad ones. And not many of them know about us. And it's that group that we've been trying to balance along. And that's been the trouble that you all have been mixed up in. What happened in town earlier was that we're part of a group that is specifically in the Catholic Church. And there are other hunter groups in other churches and in government organizations have sort of banded together. And they don't always work well together. They don't always share information. They have different ways of operating. They have different dogmas. And as part of this subgroup, we've tried to sort of manage the damage and guide them in the right direction to only go after the bad ones. And Cade, I am so sorry that you got caught up into that. I was doing my best to keep everyone out of harm's way without betraying any of those allegiances. And I didn't know specifically what their plan was, except to go after the chalice, which I had not actually seen. I didn't know that they were going to hurt anyone. I didn't know anyone would be left behind for them to fight. That was definitely not my intention, and nothing I say can make up for that. But I am truly sorry. So the group that we were in St. Augustine with, the officiating agents were part of a different group that had conscripted my group to help. And again, I told Sean that it wasn't a good idea to destroy the chalice, and he tried to do what he could to change their plans. But again, I'm the low man on the totem pole here, and Sean only has so much power as well. So it didn't quite go the way that we had hoped. Questions?
It's all rather messy, isn't it?
If it's any consolation, I mean, it wouldn't be, I'm sure, but I don't know where things stand with the hunters right now. I haven't been in contact. Sean hasn't been in contact. We're waiting to see how the dust settles.
Since you've seen what they do, what are your plans with regard to your involvement with them?
Honestly, I don't know. I think depending on what their new trajectory is, I may try to get out, or I don't know if that's really something. I mean, typically the way that I get out is stage my death and start a new life somewhere else. That's how I've always done it, but that's not really an option here with my family and with you all. So clearly not an option. I would like to know what they think of this end of the world stuff. I think they probably are wondering what to think of it as well. But I think the hunting has sort of fallen to this new government group, and maybe they're going to wait and see what happens with that. I don't know. I do see some value in potentially using my position as a sort of counter agent to keep tabs on their operation and again try and mitigate it or guide it in a direction that will keep people safe that ought to be kept safe.
That didn't seem to work very well last time. Not to be too blunt there, but
Well, guess not.
Are they aware
What-
that your family is supernatural, or do they think that you're just a normal person?
They do not know.
Don't you think it's quite
Frankly,
dangerous?
a few months ago, I didn't know either. But I don't know if it's something that you can get out of. That mostly makes me worried for Sean. He's definitely in a tricky situation now.
do you know at all if that group, first off, does the group have a name? You keep saying group. What are they called?
They're called the Society of Leopold.
Okay. Were they the ones who attacked and killed Nigel? Or is that a different group?
Technically, that was the Anglican operation. That was the what is their name? Did not write it down. I don't remember. Jerome, what are they called?
I don't know.
Where's my book?
What are they called?
Where's my book? Hold on.
I happen to know. I recently looked it up as of today, but
As of today.
I am going to, because I was relaying that information to
All
somebody.
right, hold on.
But you, my dear, are an experienced player by now and should know this.
No excuses.
Exactly. And no regrets.
I believe that's the Order of Saint Michael.
No. Although
No,
he
that's a
does
different
have,
one.
although he does have faith.
Mm,
I guess it would be nice if
Yeah,
I
I was
could
gonna-
have your body.
Yeah.
I
I
know
was gonna
not
say, but
everybody
I didn't want to be wrong about the song.
has got a body like you.
God,
Although I will
dear
admit
worm.
you were close.
Damn it. Now I've got it in my head.
Have you tried the first part of that particular singer's name? And of course, Brittany is, her mind right now is buffering because she probably doesn't know the artist.
I don't remember.
See?
George Michael.
Yeah.
Saint George.
Oh. Okay, so let's write this down.
I'm reading
The
right now. All right,
Society
hold
of
on,
Saint
hold on.
George is an Anglican hunter organization.
Okay.
Baby!
Yeah, I do not see them in the book, so I would have to look more carefully. But okay.
Jerome, what I know is the Society of St. George. Is it anything related to the Knights of St. George?
That is a good question. And I will allow you to. Actually, you've never even heard of the Society of Saint. So you could ask.
Okay. Well, because there's a connection with my order and the Knights of St. George, but I was like, is the Society and the Knights, are they on? Would I
Related?
ask? Would I ask one of my contacts, or I wouldn't ask anybody in this group, right?
You could certainly try to ask one of your contacts. It would.
Okay.
It would bear research.
Okay. I'll
It's like
follow
I
it up
feel
with
like we've talked a little bit about St. George, like that organization.
We have, because there's a lot of faith in the group.
And you gotta have
Gotta have faith, the faith, the faith.
Exactly. Baby!
Yeah.
I know you're asking
So-
me to stay. Say please, please, please don't go away. Say you're giving me the blues. Maybe!
Oh no.
Are we gonna get in trouble?
No, because I can't sing anything like him, so there's no way we're getting copyright strike.
Oh, okay.
Plus, it has
Oh,
to be
I
longer
don't
than
know.
6 seconds.
It will. I haven't been in this group for long enough to really know what the protocols are in this kind of situation. But I feel like we're kind of breaking new ground anyway. This is not the post-apocalypse scene any of us expected. So. I don't know, but at this point, I think you all have earned some transparency on that part. So when I hear something, I will let you know.
Like right away. Right. just to be clear.
I will say, Sean went missing for a little while, and I managed to track him down, and it seems like some gentlemen made him believe that they were part of us, and that they wanted to talk to him about the fight in St. Augustine. But what they actually did was tie him up and torture him. And none of us know what group they're associated with. And I'm afraid I didn't have the presence of mind to go through their pockets afterwards. So there may be other players.
So it sounds like, I mean, we're forming our own little, I don't know, alliance, or I don't know what we want to call this, but I mean, is that what you're looking for? I mean, is this little group alliance, like, is this sort of like a inner trust circle in the Venn diagram of circles sort of deal? Like, Cade, like, what do you want out of this?
What I was hoping to get out of this, and Petra, thank you for telling me this. This does go a long way to.
I'm sorry that I took so long to let you know about it.
No, and I understand it's.
There are reasons.
Yeah, everyone has family, you know, and
Or lack thereof.
yeah. Well, I suppose I can go next, but to go into it, Joe. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that up to this point, it seemed to me that a lot of the dangers that were coming toward us started from within, regarding unanswered questions, unasked questions, things that we could have, if we had known, we could have avoided further bloodshed or further discomfort. My hope would be that no matter what, that we always had each other's backs. No matter what, it's not that I expect any of you to renounce your allegiances, because I know that that's not easy. And if you asked me to do the same to the group that I'm a part of, it would be difficult for me to do so. So I would never ask that of you. It's more of the making sure that we are on the same page, the same level of understanding and the respect to each other, that, that should something come up or some sort of threat be, if something threatens one of us, does it threaten all of us? And up to this point, it didn't really feel that way. It felt that other people's dangers were landing in other people's laps, and I'm just not used to that.
Well, hold on. Keep in mind, though, that up until like all of that, the precipice of everything that happened, like, we were still all finding our footing, and a lot of stuff kind of developed. You're right, because we didn't trust each other. We also didn't really know each other a whole lot at the time.
I understand.
I feel like now we can start a new chapter and start on, okay, we've been through some shit.
Yes.
Now we trust each other, but it's a very close knit. So I do feel like after everything, you're right. This is a great time to sort of announce, like, yeah, we're in this together, because we only have each other for the most part, depending on who you are. But yeah,
we're
hope you're satisfied.
Yeah, we're on the same page here. When I first arrived, I was definitely greeted by the Savannah welcoming committee, which is not so welcoming, but there's strength in unity. As if we continue to operate in circles that are separate from everybody else, without involving, without keeping the others abreast of what is happening, it'll be that much easier to tear us apart. And I think that after everything that we've been through, talking about these things is because, had I not known how messy the Hunter situation was that Petra and her son have found themselves in, over the last month, all I could think of was that Petra and her son were somehow connected to the people that killed Nigel.
And they were, but not directly, and really they had nothing to do with it except for their connection.
Exactly. But I only know that now because we have addressed it. The thing is that it is, and I guess I can go and start speaking about my experience. So, as you know, I am a knight. I was born in the 13th century, and I am a member of an order of knights known as the Order of the Broken Sword. There are several factions that exist in our sphere, but the one that I am aligned with, the Order of the Broken Sword, focuses on knights that have fallen, knights that have either been tempted by evil and are working towards redemption, who are those who have fought the good fight and lost and are hoping to make up for that. We are trying to be the bulwark between great evil and the good and innocent that need to be protected. In all honesty, there's very little worry that anybody in my order would have any problem with any of you, with the vague the very tentativeness of Sly, knowing your, yes, but yeah, it's a thing, but we are more after the very, very obviously evil Sabbat vampires, infernalists, the ones that are out doing the worst possible thing. My order is filled with knights that are trying to make up for a loss, and that is why I'm here, is to try and make up for my loss. When I was very young, my sister was killed, and I blame myself. And through the oath that I have taken and the path that I have walked, my hope, even though I don't think I will ever truly forgive myself for this, my hope is to save enough people that my sister can smile upon me from the next life. That is why I'm here. That is my hope. I should note that I have died several times, always running towards danger, I'd like to think. It probably will not be the last time I die, but the last thing I wish for is to have let somebody innocent die when I could have done something to save them. That to me is the worst thing that somebody in my position could possibly do. And I've been wrestling around with the events of the past month and just wondering if I'm in the right place or if perhaps I needed to move on. I am happy to, while I don't envy your position, Petra, I understand it is, especially for a person who is, being dogged by who knows uncounted numbers of people that are after you for whatever reasons that they have. I don't envy your position, because you've, in order to survive, you've had to make these connections with very dangerous peoples. But it does make me feel at least that I can trust you. So thank you for being honest.
Again, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to prevent this from happening earlier.
Look, I don't think apologies are really necessary here at this point, because frankly, there was a lot of unknowns in a lot of this. So I think apologizing is taking like a personal responsibility over everything that sort of happened, and it's not just one person. It's really not.
To be
So
fair,
it's not fair.
I didn't know. I have a much clearer picture of all of this
Yeah,
than I did at the
exactly.
time.
But I
For
don't still feel
example,
like there's an apology that's necessary because, yes, I mean, obviously overall apology, but not from you specifically. Like it's just it's not you, is the people that you were associated with. Yeah,
right,
it sucks what happened, but we know what happened and we can move on from it. But you shouldn't be apologizing for something you did not personally do.
Yeah, I think
so as until I know how closely my organization and frankly this new government group is keeping tabs on us and our goings on, I do think discretion is important because, as I said, the society is not kind to things of an occult nature, let alone
And that's
working
true.
with supernaturals. And frankly, they don't know that I am what I am. I fall outside of their acceptable existence as well, being that I can't die and I don't age. I also have a little bit of skill in magic, and that is something that is highly suspect among
Mm.
the society as well. So
Well, look, what they don't know won't hurt them.
I'm just
All right.
saying, times when I've tried to be circumspect or nervous about associating with even this ghost hunting business. That's why is if my people, the society, witnessed me doing this, then my cover would be blown and my position would be compromised. So
So you're
that
like a
explains
double
a lot
or
of
triple
my,
agent.
yes.
Well, at least we know that now.
So
Right.
that is the hope of all this, is to
right.
know where potential dangers lie, so that way we don't end up walking into a bed of scorpions.
Speaking of scorpions, all right, Char, it's your turn to let loose your dirty laundry. Tell us which evil overlords you serve.
I currently do not serve any evil overlords.
Check.
That's a relief.
I am. Hold on, I pulled up notes for this.
Everybody get your bingo card ready.
I
Did
am.
anybody have Coke boars for Charlotte? You know?
Oh God. Yeah, I saw that meme.
I am. Firstly, what I'm called a reborn. That's what my people are called. And or a mummy, if you choose to call it that. I
Petra gives her like a double take. Because this is the
Oh,
first time she's actually heard of it
this
about
is
it.
the first time she's said anything about it, yeah.
Nice.
I used to follow the Order of Horus, but I've been alive for a long time and no longer follow the Order of Horus. I am what is called an Ishmaelite. Um, I've. Do you wish to know how long I've been alive? Like, there's not much more to
I am
tell.
dying to know. Like I'm
I'm
almost 60. Can you tell? She kind of does this number.
I'm just shocked that I'm neither the youngest nor the oldest in this group.
I think I'm the youngest.
I think you are.
And that's saying something, all right. I mean,
I was born in 71 BCE.
you
So I
dusty.
am.
You don't look a day over 1500.
Thank you. I've been reborn several times, but Not too many.
You mentioned the Order of Horus, and then you're not a part of them anymore. Why is that?
Um, After spending several hundred years and not getting very far, or the ideals being misconstrued, you kind of give up on it. So, yeah,
And they're not the type to come after any reborn who leave their organization, I take it.
they might now with the apocalypse, but
Oh.
I don't think so. I'm not, I wouldn't say high on the priority list. I am quite the healer, but as you all may know, I am not or I never kept up on my fighting skills. I used to use a spear. Uh, you saw it fly on in my little chamber below my house. That is one of my uh tombs, you could say.
Hmm.
I have another one.
And nobody here would be mortal enemies of reborn that you know of?
No, we don't particularly like vampires, but the ones that we're working with currently are easy enough to work with.
Do you have an organization?
Not
Like a
currently, no.
a a society of
Not currently,
your
no.
people?
So you're
Oh,
just here
solo.
solo?
Yeah?
Why? I mean, I
We
know
don't.
why I'm here. And like I was in hiding for 5 years until this shit happened, but I mean like why are you here?
In Savannah or here.
I mean both. I mean Savannah, sure. Like again, I came here because I was just kind of trying to hide in plain sight, but uh, I can't imagine you would do the same because you're not a vampire or any part of that.
Yeah,
I
vampires I understand more or less, and the shifters I kind of understand, but I what what are what are mummies about?
Oh, she froze.
Yep.
Oh, I'm glad it's not just me.
Oh,
She
there-
keeps dropping in and out for me.
Yeah, everybody's having some
Oh.
degree of
I see there.
connection issues for some reason. I don't know why.
Hmm. I blame the worm.
I can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I
God,
know.
weird.
Just we're waiting for Abby to come back.
Oh, can you
Okay.
guys not hear her?
Nope.
Uh-uh.
No, she
Oh.
was.
Oh.
Oh,
oh
She froze and
oh,
then
there she is.
dropped and then now she's back.
Oh, I could hear her for a bit.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Oh,
Am I back now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Can you repeat your question again, Brittany?
What are mummies about?
It's been a while since I've been with the Order of Horus, but World Order, different things like that.
I think maybe she's asking like, "What are you here for?" Like, I mean, I know that sounds weird. Like you ask anybody, like, "Okay, why are you even here?" Like, but
What is the reason
as a
for their
mummy, like,
existence?
why is this such a random place? Like, I know Savannah's like a huge hub for like just generally supernatural shit that's going on, but why would you settle here? I just gotta honestly understand that too. I think that's what she's like. Why would a mummy settle here? Like, what are you about? Like, why?
No, I just don't
Why?
even know like what. All I know about mummies is from TV shows.
Yeah, like, what are you? Yeah, what are you about? Well, like, not what you can do necessarily, because I mean, everyone's got their secrets, but Yeah, what are you about? And she's frozen again. Oh, no, she's not. Nope, she is. Sorry.
No, we can all
You
see
keep
and hear
moving
you.
and then just like,
I moved to Savannah because this is a place I've never lived before. And I saw an opportunity, and I am quite the businesswoman. Um, I, having lived so long, have procured a amount of wealth. I use it to support my magics, mostly. Um,
oh, I love the belt buckle, by the way. She is wearing it. The one that you made for her, your little
Oh.
magic stuff, whatever.
and I'm gone.
And you're frozen.
Yep.
Yep.
She dropped again.
Ooh.
Dang.
Doing her disappearing act.
Yep.
Now you see her, now you don't.
Welcome back.
So,
I'm back.
Yes, you're
so
back.
you just
Ugh! Why?
live.
Ugh.
So you just live your life. You don't have like a
Political
reason
agendas.
for. I don't know. Like
I
vampires are trying to. I mean, they have their society about ruling a city and managing resources so that they can continue to live. And the werewolves are the the shifters are all about earth stuff.
I used to, but after hundreds of years of trying to push that agenda, it seemed pointless. So there are much more Ishmaelites now than there were in the beginning.
What brings about a reborn? Like, we say you hear mummy, and I'm thinking a person wrapped up tight, put in a sarcophagus in Egypt, but
Yeah,
I'm
she's
not
got
getting
much
that
better
from
skin
you
than
exactly.
you would think.
I was born in Egypt,
Oh,
but I helped raise Cleopatra's children, and I was one of their doctors.
Wow.
I'm sure you've all heard of her.
yeah.
She was quite the woman. And quite tragic, everything that happened around her.
Then what
Now
caused
you're all
you to
quiet.
become reborn?
I was chosen for my skills. At the time, I had delivered a lot of children, and there aren't very many female doctors. We tend to blend in more. And I was chosen, and
So you were made so that you can be immortal through a ritual or something, or
She dropped
yes,
off again.
it's
Okay.
called. I can hear you
I see
guys.
her.
Can
Oh,
you
and-
not?
I can see her.
No,
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
no. She unfortunately it's the connection. You guys may be
Oh.
able to see her. I can't see her on the stream,
Dang.
I knew
and
her
I
at
can't
the
see
rest.
her in the back room. So Abby, if you can hear me, restart
There she is.
your computer. See if that helps. The other thing I'm thinking it may happen, they just recently updated their internet connection out where she lives. And they're supposed to have fiber, which is supposed to be faster, but I'm wondering if if it may be, but it's not steady.
Right.
Hmm.
Like they got the speed, but not the consistency or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I wonder what we can do about, I mean, how we can leverage all of this experience that each of us has. I
Well,
mean,
we've been
we're
doing
the
that to a
oldest
degree
we're
already.
the oldest people that I mean, like, as a group. I can't remember the last time I've been around people that were this long lived.
With how the world is right now, and especially with the revelation that humanity has been now forced to see, I wonder if there will be a time when there need to be individuals like us who can help them weather the storm of ignorance, not
See
knowing what's
see
going
beyond the
on.
moment.
Right. Because we did manage to get past an apocalyptic event, but that wasn't of humanity's making. There could be a time when something happens amongst their society now that they know that supernatural kind exists in a wide variety. How are they going to react to that? We've seen a little bit of it with this new institution that's looking at things, and that seems to be happening in different parts of the world, but will that be it? I'm not so sure.
Historically, humans do not do well with change. We all know this. And the recent events, like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of them are probably in a bit of denial over it. But those that are already here, such as the vampires and other factions, werewolves and such, this is a good thing, and that we can create alliances like what's the Prince wanting to do at some point. Perhaps with our mixed genre of abilities, that maybe that's something that we could help pioneer.
I'm reluctant. Um, now that the existence of a lot of these supernaturals are known, um, I could see some of them being,
Anti.
living more out in the open, but
Mhm.
I can't see myself joining them because from what I know of my kind, it would just make me a target.
Mm. Yeah, I get
I
that.
don't see any of us willingly going into the
I, I wasn't
public.
saying we need to go into the limelight in that we need to be out there making public announcements or, speeches and stuff like that, but we can be a silent partner and stuff. Like, we can make things happen and make decisions behind the screen. Like, we could be an influence. Vampires have been doing it for centuries. Other species have been doing it for centuries. Why can't we? Why can't we
Well,
certain areas?
we can, but to your point there, it seems that other societies have been pulling strings behind the scenes without
Oh,
humanity knowing.
100%.
But now, if we want to be
Part
legitimate
of it.
and, well, maybe
Mhm.
not a part of that per se, but you talk about influence. Well, you can garner it under the table, but you
Mhm.
can do it above the board as well, which might be something that's better considering what's going on right now.
Mhm.
I don't
I
know.
feel like
Maybe.
I have a little bit of an in with the sort of vampiric community. They don't know, I'm aware, like what I've evolved into, but I'm still a part of that community. So I could keep an ear out, can still be an advocate for change. I can still have an influence, hopefully. Maybe even more now, considering I'm not what I was used to be. I don't know. I know I still have targets on my back, my chest, and my head, and everywhere else they want to put it.
Well, a target on you is a target on all of us. So if anyone's coming after you that you know of specifically, you let us know right away.
I shall.
And if any of them even attack you without us being there, you're probably going to wipe the floor of them, given what you're capable of now. But
what they don't know will hurt them in this case.
Wow. Well, good. Did anyone have further questions for anybody regarding who they're with or allied with or their background?
I don't have
I'm
any.
looking at Cade. 100% for this.
I
He's the
don't.
whole reason we brought this up.
Well, in all honesty, it is probably the best thing that we've ever done. Is because now, and I wanted to thank everybody here for your candor and for your honesty. I understand that these things can be touchy, but I don't want you all to feel that being a member of this group is a weakness. Being in this group is absolutely
I
a
feel the
strength.
opposite.
Good. Well, it's good to know, but it's up to this point there were a lot of I was seeing a lot of the secrecy and all of that as being a lack of trust that could be easily exploited by our enemies. And
at the time we didn't know who was our enemy and who was not.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
I mean, so now I feel like we're re-solidifying those lines in the chalk or lines in the sand or whatever you call it.
Yeah, reforging our bond. And I think that my goal in this was not to point fingers at anybody, but was just to understand and learn and see if there was a possibility for a greater unification within this group. I do think that we are stronger together than we are apart, but I wanted to thank you for your honesty and for indulging me in this. This takes a lot of the weight that I've been bearing off my mind. So thank you.
You know what? I don't think this was an indulgence. I think this was a necessary conversation because, frankly, we all have been through a bit since the precipice of everything. So I think this was a necessary conversation to have. But I still think, look, I trust y'all, but I don't need to share everything with y'all.
Oh, of course not. I don't expect you to divulge all of your secrets. It was more of just, like what Sly was saying. If you have enemies, those are our enemies. You need not fight them alone. That goes for everybody.
Yep.
Excellent.
Petra will reach out and reach a hand out to Cade to shake.
And Cade will kind of reach a hand out, shake.
Joe will actually do the same as a show of, appreciation, solidarity, all that stuff.
We should all just do like the 5 strands of rope, like in 3 Ninjas.
Yeah, we'll just start shaking everyone's hands.
Okay, I gotta put the rest of my dinner away. I'll be right back. And also the cat is on the table.
Oh, cat.
We need to see him.
Jerome, do we get extra experience if the cat is on camera?
Yay, cat.
Oh, snap, extra experience.
So we're just waiting for Abby to come back at this point. She tried to reboot, and Windows is saying it's getting itself ready.
Oh, jeez.
So it looks like she may have had some sort of update that was maybe downloading or something in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Something dumb. All right, so at any rate, so while I guess we should probably take just a momentary break, since Brittany has walked away and we're waiting on Abby to come back. So
yeah,
if you guys want to take 5 real fast, go ahead. Let me pull this up here real fast. And
You should ask the chat, whose backstory do you think was the coolest? Let us know down at the bottom.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all haven't read all mine, I promise you.
Okay, so we'll be
It's
right
very
back in about 5 while everybody is coming back. So be right back. Burb.
It is hot over here. Nice. Like we've been trying not to run the AC too much because our electric bill in the summer is always like gigantic. But
Okay, so not quite 5 minutes. We're back already. Since we've been having some connectivity issues, I want to make sure we got back to playing. So, uh, um, obviously there was Abby. You missed a little bit with some of the discussion, but everybody just kind of coming together ultimately.
Yeah,
No.
we did an
We're
80s
having
freeze
an
frame.
we're having an expose.
Yes, and sharing lots and lots of details.
Spilling guts,
Mhm.
but not the fun kind.
Oh, and Charlotte, there's a train coming in. Just to let you know.
Oh yeah, that's me. Sorry. Mute.
Doot doot.
um, Remind me again. What did we name your servant?
My servant,
Yes, your new person,
Rose.
Rose. Thank
Rose.
you.
My ninja servant, Will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and ticking time bomb. This is actually a World of Darkness mix game. So we've got. I had to actually make some logos for some of the games that didn't have, or some of the types that didn't have their own official like logo. So if you take a look on the Twitch site specifically, you'll see. I think I've listed pretty much all of them there. So you should have like there should be a little footnote that lets you know who is what and for how many cookies. Okay, so anyway, so Rose at this point has, as you guys are talking, she's obviously not paying too much attention to what everybody else is discussing or talking about. Disinterests her. However, she actually provides Charlotte with a note, like right after she got done speaking. Just making sure you're still here, Abby. That was to you.
Yes. I'm sorry. I thought does she hands me the note?
She hands you a note. Yes.
Okay. I read it. What does it
Okay.
say?
It's specifically an invitation.
Oh, an invitation to what?
An invitation for a special meeting at the Hegemony in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh. Okay. With her boss, her old boss, potentially. Rose's old boss.
Yes. Well, that's
Okay.
yeah. The Hegemony. Yes. Yes, because that is how they speak in Tucson, Arizona.
Charlotte,
And
thank you, Rose.
Manhattan.
What's the date on it? Like when is the
The date is in 1 week from now, so it is sort of short
and
notice. But the tagline at the bottom specifically says, "You are to invite your quote unquote cute friends."
I get to bring a +1?
Mhm.
Oh wait, you mean
+5?
everybody.
Yes.
You get to pick your cutest friend.
Friends.
Hey. Does it say anything like about what it's for specifically? Or just an invite to the hegemony, bring my posse?
Yes.
Okay. Um mm, so I have an invitation here for all of us to go to Arizona to meet Another one of my kind. She owns a very nice resort in Arizona.
She knows about us?
She deals with information. But if you're asking if I told her about you, I did not.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Hmm.
I always get nervous when people know about me.
Likewise.
But this is someone you know?
I don't know her well, but Rose does. Rose, are you able to tell us more about your trainer?
And for brevity's sake, does everybody know what Rose looks like?
I don't.
She's been posted in the chat before, but it's been a while.
Yes. Well, it's been over a month at least. So let me go and find the picture again real fast. There she is. That was
Is it
easy.
the Discord chat or the Facebook?
It's in Facebook.
Okay. The Book of Faces.
The Book of Faces. Just give me 1 second. I'll just repost it. It's not a biggie. And there we go.
It has an endless supply of new servants.
I don't. This one came quite costly.
Oh,
But so you asked Rose if she could talk about her
Yes.
former master.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She at this point she's standing there. She obviously doesn't look exactly like that outfit wise. She does have that. She does have that bolero jacket on, but she has more of a business outfit underneath, like a white button-up shirt and slacks.
Yeah, Shar doesn't let her go out in public like that.
Oh.
Not with her, anyway.
Slides off. Damn.
There's a dress code.
But Rose has her hands folded behind her back, and she says, "I can speak in some generalities, ma'am, if you would like me to."
Yes, please do.
She says, "Well, my former master, her name is Aaliyah, and she runs the hegemony in Tucson, Arizona. As my master has indicated, she is also a member of the Reborn, and specifically an Ishmaelite."
I figured since no one was sent after me. There are not very many of us reborn. We are not large in number. She runs more of an information network.
Do you have any idea why she'd invite you?
It does not say, but my guess it would be on the events of the apocalypse. Something we are familiar with. I can get us a plane if we all wish to go. In a week. Short notice.
Is this a meeting that we should be concerned about, or is this just simply a meet up and talk?
Well, considering I was sent this invite and not all of us, I imagine there will be players invited as well. But she keeps quite a how should I put it? Strong hand, and her hotel, the hegemony, is a neutral location. No violence is allowed. Those who
people
break it,
follow that?
those who break it do not live. She's very strict that way.
Like Elysium, but
Yes, very much so.
actually effective.
Well, if accommodations are paid for, I'd be willing to go.
How long do you suppose we would be gone?
I don't know. Rose, has she had a meeting like this before?
Of course.
How long do they normally last?
A day or two. Depends upon the depth of the conversation, I suppose.
Okay. Think I could be spared for a day or two?
If any of you have any feeding restrictions or preferences, I can take that information and provide that to her so that you have those accommodations on site.
Is this meeting something also the prince of our area should be invited to?
She shrugs. She says, I would imagine the prince would have been informed if
Okay.
that was the case.
All right. Well, Rose, will you get accommodations for a plane to take us in a week?
Of course, ma'am. I will
Thank
work on that right now.
Well, that'll be fun.
I also text as, "Hey, party and hegemony in a week?" Question mark.
So he texts back a picture of a do not disturb sign.
Oh. Gasp.
Well,
You better not be with another lady. Okay. Char does not say that out loud. Okay. Is there any other questions for me?
I'm sure we'll come to more.
well, good. It sounds like so far then we're all more or less on the same page, and some fears and burdens have been alleviated to a degree. Good. Clearly, we should keep that line of communication open as much as we can. And speaking of which, Petra, you were mentioning something about a task.
Right. With our new ghost hunting business, go check out this property over by the national park. I ate all the cheese. No more cheese for you.
Petra, put down that cat.
So whoever's available, we'd love to have you. No, don't eat jelly beans. Yeah. He's mad now.
I think a little ghost mission might do me some good.
Haven't fallen into any strange alternate dimensions in a while. Might be fun again.
Wasn't that fun? And it was worth getting the children out, though.
There you go.
It was an adventure, wasn't it?
It was.
Quite.
I still don't understand where that dimension came from. I thought strange.
We still need to work on that. I need to contact our sorcerer friend.
Oh yeah, we never did dispatch the rest of those straggly, did we?
We probably should not leave them alone too long in case they breed or whatever.
I don't suppose anybody's heard any strange, news shorts regarding children being abducted in the area recently? Because it seems to be their thing, right?
Jerome, have we seen anything like that on the news?
That is a great question. Why doesn't everybody give me an intelligence and investigations check? Let's see if anybody has spent some extended periods of time in front of the old boob tube.
I've been watching Columbo.
One
Okay,
success.
Cade starts walking back, and he's got the Columbo eye. And he's like,
I hate to bother you, ma'am. Let's give
One
you my
more
next
question.
character. Yeah, I have one more question. Oh, six.
Ooh,
Whoa!
you've been watching TV.
He really has been seeing Columbo.
Columbo and Poker Face. A lot of time to think.
That's how he does his best thinking. He keeps the TV on for white noise, and then he just.
I have not been watching anything.
he hits his peak whenever like the intro music comes on to like the various shows like Matlock and Perry Mason and
They're all new to me. I've never seen these shows.
You're right. Yeah.
that's like his highway to the danger zone from Top Gun. It's like, oh, it's on. He did it with a frying pan in the dining room. Anyways, so who got what
With the candlestick?
with the candlestick?
I got 6 successes.
Good gravy. And you also had a 10.
Oh, did that not count it in the...
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4,
No, it
5.
did.
Yeah, it did.
It
Okay.
did,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
my specialty was there, Columbo.
Columbo, yeah.
Never lets me down.
All you get to choose who to give the reroll to.
Yes. So
Columbo?
you can choose anybody on screen.
Oh, yeah.
As Rachel goes dark.
Yeah, it is. Rachel goes dark. Yeah, she's the one.
Wait, I select who gets the reroll?
No.
No, somebody on
oh,
Twitch just-
One of the chatters. Paul.
Okay,
Paul
sorry.
McGinn.
Our viewers.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah. So
Does
just go
anyone
ahead.
not have a reroll?
Oh, he's giving it to Sly.
Oh,
Oh,
Thank you very
yeah.
much.
very nice.
Very cool. Okay,
As long
so
as you don't give it to Jerome.
okay,
Yeah, you
you
don't
know what?
need it.
Just for that,
No.
No.
Hey,
no.
go!
Oh. Can you do that?
I just do that.
Jerome is like, what's yours? What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve. Anyway, so sorry about that. Getting a little loopy. So yes, Cade, you have been, and probably because you've been dealing with a bit of depression, that you've found yourself enraptured with the TV and essentially idle hands. You did actually read, or not read, but hear of a news report of a spike in missing persons here in the Savannah area. Local news reports an unexplained surge in missing persons centered near a closed down motel.
Yes, actually, since I've spent a fair amount of time in front of the television, I have actually there actually have been a fair number of missing persons here in Savannah. They all seem to be located near a closed down motel. Jerome, would I know? Because I would imagine, especially with everything that happened with the apocalypse, there's probably a fair amount of destruction. Was the closed down motel anywhere near any pockets of that?
Not that you're aware of, no.
Okay. Yeah.
It bears further investigation.
Okay. But yes, that in regards to missing persons, yeah, there have been quite a few in the city since well, in the past month or so.
Are they children or just general missing persons?
Drummond, I know if they're children or just
So 8 missing people total so far. And no, it's random. It's not. It's not. There's no focus on just children.
okay.
Did you say a location?
Yes,
So
a hotel. The hotel. It's an old hotel that's been closed down a while. It's called the Big Lodge.
the Big Lodge.
Yep, it hasn't been torn down yet for who knows what reasons. It actually ceased operations in the 80s. So even though it's really worn down and whatnot, it looks like pretty much time stopped around the 80s. So it's got some of that bad dated decor to it.
Is that a would we know? Is that something that the Straggler really love? Is the 80s? Because when we went into the darkness zone, there was a lot of 80s in there.
That was like the
Yeah.
50s, wasn't it, or 40s?
I thought
Like
it
a
was the
World War
80s.
II. I don't remember.
No, you're actually drawing from the fact that I was
Oh.
describing it much like the Upside Down, which the Upside Down was based on the 80s in Stranger Things. So no.
Okay, but yeah, 8 people missing, but not it doesn't seem to be targeting children in particular. But yes, this Big Lodge seems to be at the center of all these disappearances.
Worth investigating.
Maybe we can go check that out after the manor.
Indeed.
What exactly were the shifters trying to find out at that cairn you were talking about, or
They are looking at buying a home closer to the cairn, and we happened to be checking out this house, and they were telling us about supernatural happenings there. So conveniently, we thought we would volunteer to check it out.
well, is anyone busy right now?
No, I'm
No.
fair to go.
Okay.
Let's go.
So I'll go ahead and text Yang and say that we're going to check out the house if he would like to join us.
Okay, yeah. He was there with you in the first place, so
Yeah, I figure he probably dropped me off over here.
yeah, he'll just meet you there.
Okay.
If you could forward the visual to the chat.
Sure.
So without any delay then, so we don't burn up all of our time, all of you respectively go either in shared vehicles or in your own, and you head across town from where you get. So you were near downtown Savannah. This is southeast. So it's like you're going back towards Tybee Island, but you're not taking that highway across. You're actually angling more for the marshes and that are in between that. And there's a community there, and there is a state park nearby called the what is it, Wormslow Historic Site, also known as the Wormslow Plantation.
Yeah. That's what I based Char's house off of.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
So, quick side trip. We are buying Charlotte's house. So, kidding. But there is a community just off of Colonial Estill Avenue, and that is where the house is from there. So it's very rich in green and trees. Even, not only does the park have kind of that overhang canopy of trees with Spanish moss and weeping willows sort of look to it. Many of the homes nearby in this area have that look as well. And the roads themselves are single car lanes, so one lane goes one way, one lane goes the other, and there's like a basically an island that has the trees interspersed from there. So I mean, it is very southern when you think of it. When you think of I don't want to say just swamplands and marshlands, kind of like northern Florida, but it does kind of have that vibe. The house in question sits right next to the property line of this state park, which you can tell because it's noted by a black fence that comes out around a corner and kind of runs parallel down this particular street, and then it stops right by where this house, where basically everything gets cleaned up. You can see the property line and this, this nice white house and whatnot. You're able to park right there on the dirt, right along the road, and follow the white picket fence line to go. Which we can't see it in the picture. Oh, but cool. You posted up the.
Yeah, you can in the second picture see the white picket fence.
Yes. So it's a nice looking home. Fairly big, especially in this area. How is everybody dressed? You dressed fairly outlandishly, like you're going to a party?
I'm probably wearing my usual leather jackets, jeans. I'm carting the bags with all the ghost hunting equipment, and I've also got the bag with my the sports bag that I keep my sword in on me as well. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Char's probably like in a business dress, like her normal, like she just came to a meeting, but she does have her amulets and things like that.
Okay, Sly?
He'll have like his typical blazer and shirt, but he'll have like a dress slacks today rather than jeans, with nice dress shoes.
Okay, sure. Joe?
Joe's in nice jeans, the ones that are not oil stained and whatever. Maybe they have a little crisp in the front, but just so faded out at this point. And then she's got her, belt on with the buckle that Abby made for her, and just a clean shirt.
Okay. And Petra?
Typical sundress and cardigan.
Okay.
And Keds.
So basically, you look like a fancier version of
Mishmash.
Mythbusters rolling up to the door.
Yep.
Yep.
So I'll go ahead and lead the way since I was the contact before.
Sure.
And I'll mention this. The homeowner's name is Robert Davis. Or David? I think it was Davis. Yes, Robert Davis. I'm like, wait, who's writing this down?
I don't know.
You are.
So at any rate, you guys walk up to the front to the stoops. Yang eventually pulls up about 2 minutes after you guys already get there. I'm gonna have to make that happen. So, you approach, you knock on the door, Petra. An older-looking man, looks like he's in his mid-50s. Already got fully gray hair. A little bit of peppering still from his original brownish hair color, but otherwise, almost all gray. He is a little bit overweight, average height. And he says, Miss Petra, hi, welcome back. He's kind of looking around, the crew that you've brought at this point. And he says, I didn't know you were bringing so many people. Do I need to get some, strawberry lemonade or something?
Oh, it wouldn't go amiss, I'm sure, but let me introduce you to the rest of the team. We're the group that I mentioned earlier. If you could just set us up where you've had the incidents, we'll get the equipment fired up and see what we can find out.
Sure. So he just walks you through the house. He gets he pulls a pitcher of strawberry lemonade out from the fridge, and has got some glasses that he sets out and starts, pouring everybody a drink who might want one.
Surprised it's not iced tea.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how we know he's possessed, is because he didn't give us
It's not iced tea.
You're no Southerner. What do you mean? You didn't serve me sweet tea.
He's not a local, just bought a local house.
Right. There you go.
This is the bar scene in Inglourious Bastards where we've all
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. 3 glasses of strawberry lemonade.
So he gets glasses for anybody who wants them, pours drinks. He proceeds to tell everybody, reiterating the story he's already told Petra, that at one point here in the dining room, he came back after hearing something, and all of the chairs had been piled up on top of one another in like a pyramid fashion. And as he looked out onto the patio, he could see 2 orbs that looked almost like eyes peering back at him through the sliding glass door.
About how big were they? Just like normal eye size?
Yeah.
What height?
About my height, maybe a little bit taller, a little bit higher.
Okay.
How tall is he?
He's 5'7".
Okay.
So not tall.
Oh, wow.
Average.
That's average.
Average.
Suddenly, Brittany letting on some.
I'm 5'7".
Okay.
Wait.
Sorry.
So he goes, but then he slides the sliding glass door open, and then of course you can see that you can see the nice patio that he's got out back. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, there we go. Close out of that. Here we go. He does have a pool in the back, and there's a lot of trees out here. Basically, the yard is pretty deep for this particular property. And then it literally runs right against the property line of the park. And as he's talking, he's kind of pointing outward, out to the tree line that runs, because it's all thick. Like if you take a look at Google Maps, it's all tree out there. It's just a gigantic tree line out that way. And he starts relaying a story about how every so often, especially after the night of raining, blood rain or whatever everybody's been calling it, now that they occasionally hear voices out in the woods. But of course, nothing ever responds to them or makes itself evident. Occasionally, they'll see those orbs, like he talked about in the dining room, or not dining room, but looking in to the dining room. Sometimes they'll see them out there as well, peering back into the property or floating around a bit. The other thing he mentions is occasionally they will hear what sounds like gunfire, but it's not modern gunfire. It almost sounds like flintlock.
Ooh.
Jerome, as we're listening to this, I
or
would
musket fire.
like to activate my clear sighted ability.
Okay.
Yeah, which is this one where I can, if there is something here that is protected by obfuscation,
Mm-hmm.
any of those things, I should be able to pick it up.
Shar can put on her glasses as well.
Shar can certainly do that. Anybody else?
Obfuscate.
Anybody else
chemistry.
hulking up to try and spot stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sly's going to grab a random gadget that looks like it would do something, pretending that that's what he's using.
Okay.
He's going to go to where he's been talking about seeing things and use his supernatural awareness.
So you're gonna pick up a Curlian camera then?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, like a camera, if it's like some sort of scanner, whatever.
Sure.
Would do the trick.
Sure. Joe?
My mouse isn't working at the moment because it died on me.
Uh-oh.
I guess I don't know. I guess I'm kind of keeping a low profile because I don't know anything else to do. I'm just gonna kind of keep a sly a little bit.
You have an amulet of aura perception as well. It's your belt buckle.
The hard part is that my mouse isn't clicking on shit right now, so
Oh,
I can't
that's
really
right.
even check at that, unfortunately, because my mouse died. So I'll just be with somebody at the moment.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't do anything, literally.
That was my greatest fear, getting like Wi-Fi mice or wireless mice. Yeah.
You know what? I just forgot to charge it. That's all.
Mm.
So now it's connected, and it's what it is.
I just had to change out the batteries in my wireless mouse
I don't
this
have
morning.
batteries. Not batteries. It's a charge.
Oh.
Well, anyway, so yeah, I'm keeping with the group in general.
Okay, sure. So those of you who are looking around or peering around, give me your appropriate rolls. If you're doing anything appropriate to like aura perception, keep in mind it's empathy and perception difficulty 8.
Oh, there we go. Finally. Okay. My mouse is moving now.
3 successes on supernatural awareness.
Okay. Yes, Paul McGinn says always keep a spare mouse.
You know what? I do have a spare mouse, but it's connected to my work computer. So that's what it is.
Jerome, my thing, it says I make a perception alertness roll against the opposing powers level +3. So what number should my difficulty be?
Read that off to me again.
You are able to see past all levels of vampiric obfuscate, chemistry, and other related disciplines or gifts with a perception and alertness roll against the opposing powers level +3.
Is that source of smartness?
No, he has clear-sighted. It's similar to what you have, but not the same. So then you're going to be making it at a 6.
Okay,
Yeah, I think mine's similar. So I'm sorry, Abby, my mouse is now working. You said that my belt gives me a what to my perception?
You get to you basically can see
you get aura
auras.
perception as well.
Perception plus empathy difficulty 8.
Yep.
Okay. But our general check is not that, right?
Correct.
Perception and
Yeah,
awareness.
you're looking specifically for auras if you're using your belt buckle.
For
your
some reason,
magic
John,
buckle.
my rolls are taking a while to go through.
5 successes.
Are you using your
I have a 4 in perception.
and what's your empathy?
I'm not using empathy. I'm using
you-
awareness.
So you're
You
just
said-
so you're just looking around in general. Okay.
Yes.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure because we kept mentioning your
Sorry,
belt buckle.
my apologies. Yeah, so 6 total dice to roll. I rolled 5 out of 6. Or 7. Or 6, technically.
Hold on a second. I'm going to restart my Discord. It's my rolls are not going through.
Okay, no problem. I'm showing you have 4 successes, Rachel.
Yes, you're correct. Sorry, I think I rolled an extra die in there. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so 4. So.
You're fine. You got 4 successes. Brittany, what are you doing? Are you trying to break the bot with that?
Are you're muted, Brittany?
Sorry. Yeah, I forgot we were using empathy. I have one more dot in empathy than in awareness. and
Okay, so I was just wondering,
I was just adding another one,
Gotcha.
So you
which
still-
didn't help me at all.
which you still botched. Okay. So we have a whole lot of failure.
I'm guessing it was at that moment that Yang stepped up behind me.
Well, sure. There you go. You got distracted.
Yeah.
My Discord is taking forever to come back on.
Do you have a relationship with Yang?
As Young steps up behind her, all of a sudden Brittany starts to hear, "You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. There's no tenderness like before in your fingertips." Anyways, Dale is successful as well as Brittany, or as well as Rachel.
Brittany.
Brittany is successful in other ways. Primarily because she's got to have
one
faith.
job.
She's got to have faith. And I guess we're still waiting on George.
My Discord is it wasn't loading any of my rolls, and everybody else's rolls looked weird. It's trying to update itself.
Yep, I was going to say that's probably why you haven't updated in a while.
Do you have it on your phone?
Well, we're okay. I mean, you can go ahead and make a roll afterwards, and if you succeed, then you find out what I'm going to say. So, Rachel, you are not using any sort of supernatural power. You're just going off of your gut instincts, looking around. Yep. Yeah, this is some sort of spook central. Like as soon as you start looking around and kind of getting that vibe, especially after some of the places you've been together with the team already, something is amiss here. And it's not just some guy telling a story.
Yeah, and I kind of look around everybody. I'm just be like, sort of like just kind of keep quiet. Like this is like a bad zone type of deal.
Okay. Sly, as you are kind of looking around, you don't see it, you detect it, correct? If I remember correctly, it's supernatural.
Right.
awareness.
Yeah, it's just it's sensing it in the area.
Yes. So you take a moment and you kind of just scan the property because again, you're trying to take in the full scope of everything that's going around. And this is one of the only times you've kind of done that routine, like just kind of soaked in the environment and looked around, and you're picking up way more than you're seeing. And that isn't, and you can tell obviously the difference between general wildlife and people and then others.
Yeah. Okay. So there's just a lot of weird activity
Yes.
and other presences in this area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost in the same way as when you came across a straggler.
Okay.
It's not the same vibe, but the volume and intensity.
Okay. Gotcha. So after like kind of looking around and pretends to use the camera a couple of times in different spots, then he walks over to where the group is, and he's like, "So I'm picking up so far that it's similar to the house we've been to before, but different. I think it's different entities. The amount of activity is similar. There is something here, but I'm not sure it's what we've run into before." Has anybody else gotten anything?
I am not used to these glasses. I did not pick up anything in the way of auras, but that doesn't mean there isn't something here. I'm not used to this magic yet.
With the property so close, being a spiritual hub of energy, it sounds like it's likely to have a thinner barrier between this world and others, or this plane and others. So it would make sense that there are other things being perceived.
Especially with...
Are they malevolent? Are they dangerous?
Well, stacking shares is a strange behavior. That's getting attention. That's making things happen. There's a reason why entities would be doing that. And if there's entities looking directly at our client, there's a reason they're doing that. This doesn't seem like it's benevolent. More malevolent, if anything.
I could potentially try. Do you think they're dead or they're demons? Do we know?
Well, they're probably not the second thing, just to say. I know that word gets thrown around for just about anything that looks creepy or what have you, but...
I don't mean
anyway.
your kind of... You're a fallen angel.
Oh.
Are you having this conversation around the property owner?
Oh, I didn't realize he was still around. I thought he was inside. No.
Well. He did mention gunfire that he heard. I'm wondering if that has to do with things that happened in this area. Would anybody here, if any of you have any signal, can you look up if there were any Civil War battles that happened in this area? This is the South, after all. I wonder if something happened and a spirit is stuck in that time.
I would not be surprised.
Especially associated with the Wormslow plantation right there.
Okay, so Jerome, what would roll for that? Is that something I should be using my sorceress awareness for?
You could if you'd like. I don't know if it would come up with anything for that, but
I don't think it comes up with anything really related to ghosts per
Googling
se.
it would help.
Where's Harper when you need one?
Yeah.
could I try using via necromantier?
You certainly could.
I haven't used it before.
I know.
I'm not sure how.
Petra's looking to break out the new stuff.
Spinach works. Any kind of magic, including disciplines and gifts. Within a 10-foot radius. No, not super helpful.
Yeah, I think the best I could do is summon the dead, but not with dude there.
Yeah, I
The
mean, I
owner
can foresee
cannot be present while I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't describe the procedure.
Oh, but I can do something else. I can ask the trees.
No. George's character is in the other game.
I was gonna say
I was waiting for that.
they're not as
I
helpful
was
as you
too.
think they'd be. They just make fun of you.
But I could. I've not used that spell yet.
There are a ton of trees out there.
Yep, you certainly could.
Okay, so maybe I will stay in the house and try and just kind of like just talk to whatever is in here at large.
So you're going to go inside the house and activate your Rite.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just see what happens.
So you need to give me a
Charisma and occult.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
Okay.
But this is an old book. I don't know if you want to change that.
No, charisma and occult works because you are speaking instead of hermetically chanting.
Okay, and it says difficulty is usually 10. If I possess an item belonging to the deceased or am with someone close to them, the difficulty is 9.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in the former home or other place of great significance of the deceased, the difficulty is 8. If both factors are met, the difficulty is 7. If it's a place where the veil between the underworld and the world of living is thin, the difficulty is reduced by 2.
So, difficulty 6.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh boy.
If I have a fetter, then the difficulty is reduced by 1 for each fetter.
That is correct.
But I don't have any of those. So, oh my goodness. Okay. Charisma and occult.
And so, Charlotte, are you gonna go talk to the trees, you tree hugging hippie?
Yeah, I totally am. Yeah.
Okay.
It says
Cool.
it costs 1 magic point and the difficulty is 3. Do you want me to read it to you or just?
Yeah, if you can just read it, it'll save me from having to look it up.
So it says asking the trees. It's one of my Ren Hekau spells. This grouping of skills will affect any named vegetation: trees, grass, vines, bushes, etc. The magician must name the plant type and utter an invocation of control. The named plant will obey any simple command, 5 words or so, including limited animation. Trees will drop dead wood from their branches or interweave their foliage to provide cover. Vines will entangle passerby. Oh, this isn't a talking to them. It's more controlling them. Never mind. Grass will erase signs of passage and so forth.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that. Okay. Never mind.
Okay. 4 successes. So I'm thinking Petra's reasoning here is she didn't do anything special to contact Kian. So maybe that's how it works with other ghosts. So she'll just like stand in the whatever room that was where the chairs were piled up and just kind of call out. like she's talking to it.
So you first say a prayer in Latin.
Sure.
Well, there's always some sort of activation with it. For you, it's
Okay.
always like a prayer from the Bible of some kind in Latin to invoke what it is that's
Good
going
thing
on.
I learned Latin recently.
Very good thing.
Nice.
It's like people who are getting Chinese symbols tattooed onto their body, and it's like, oh, this means spiritual. No,
That means soup.
yeah, that's they're saying your
Jalapeno
backside looks like
Cheetos.
soup.
It says jalapeno Cheetos.
I know.
Right.
And they didn't even spell the jalapeno right. Anyways, so you make this evocation, and the guy's kind of like looking around. He's a little nervous at this point, because I mean he's explained to you what he's seen, and it's almost like you guys have walked in here and are starting to poke the bear. You're trying to provoke some sort of response. On one hand, in fairness, like if you invite these types of people into your house, you kind of expect that, but it's not. But it's a lot like watching somebody play with fire for the first time. You know,
I mean, you got to diagnose the problem.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
Right,
poking
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you speak, you just say something aloud. What do you say?
Hello.
Okay.
Are you here?
And then a breeze from nowhere comes to the house, and like a couple pieces of mail from like a folder, not a folder, but like a little inbox that he just puts mail that he hasn't gone through yet, kind of fly out along with, along with some ads that he hasn't thrown away yet.
Can you communicate your business to us? Is there something that you need?
So there's a pause there, and at this point he's like looking around, and he's not even touching the paperwork. He's taken like a couple steps away from it, like it's possessed or something. But he's unnerved, seeing that you've been able to provoke something, in the house. So while you're doing that, those of you who are outside, so obviously Charlotte's not doing anything. Rachel, actually, let me ask. So who else was doing anything outside?
Truthfully, I'm
Was that
not
it?
sure what else to do
Okay.
other than just kind of watch out.
Okay, so you're just watching and hanging out at this
Yeah,
point. Okay, no problem.
kind of waiting.
I'll go out with Charlotte just so that way nobody's on their own.
Okay, sure.
Sly will still be inside.
Okay. So, Petra, at that point, as you're waiting, you end up hearing some metal on metal. It's not harsh, but it sounds like something's turning.
Can I tell where it is or what the sound is?
I mean, the sound is a little persistent, so you're able to narrow it down, and you see the one of the knobs on the sink start to turn. And the guy, is like looking at that, and he's like, "Oh man, I've never seen that before." So he's clearly unnerved, and you see that the knob that was turned was for hot water.
There's two knobs, the hot water and cold water knob on that sink.
Yeah.
Okay.
But only the hot water knob is on right now.
Right. Okay. And so he's like, Petra, that could be a way to get a yes or a no. One
a good
not
idea.
meaning one thing.
How about hot for yes and cold for no? So could you twist the knob on and then off again to answer?
Okay, so you say that. The hot water the hot water continues. It's starting to kick up, steam at this point. It's getting pretty hot.
Okay. Did you used to live in this house?
So the guy's kind of like looking around, still keeping the sink and the activity in the corner of his eye, but looking around a little bit too, trying to see if the people outside are seeing or doing anything. And you don't hear or see anything just yet, Petra. But now you start to see that the window that's sitting just
Starting
over,
to fog up.
yeah, that's sitting right over the sink is starting to fog up.
Oh, might want to write
Okay.
something.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna point this out to Sly. Say maybe
Ask him his
it's
name.
gonna-
Make it personal.
What can we call you? Who are you?
So the window at this point is starting to get a little is getting more foggy, and then you start to hear
And it says, "I know what you did last summer."
yes, you spent all that time to say that. Yep,
It takes this guy forever. Jeez.
I know. And then you see something being spelled out. The guy, the owner of the home, is like one step away at this point from packing his bags. He
You could get a cheap house.
he is freaking out having seen this, and you see it spells GET and then OUT.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is not productive. We're trying to help you. We're trying to connect.
It's not
Where's-
going to want the help.
Where's
Sure.
Cass when we need?
Was it? Was it all? Is it all in uppercase or is it lowercase or?
It's in
All
Helvetica
It's
font.
upper and
Helvetica.
lower.
Okay. Okay. So it's a modern ghost. So we can use it.
It's written in like really pretty calligraphy.
If it, wa-
Say wingdings.
if it was in papyrus, then we would be like, all right, shaw you up.
That's-
Oh, Paul is still watching and is giving you all the Skeletor laugh.
Just
Nice.
Petra, give me a wits and alertness check, or a wits and awareness check.
Wits and what?
Awareness check. Difficulty 6.
One.
All right. That's not sufficient. So, yes, you're like.
Should I re-roll it, guys? I have one re-roll.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I will re-roll.
Okay.
3.
Okay. So at this point, out of the corner of your eye, a skillet gets winged right at you, so you have a chance to duck.
I will duck. Dex and athletics.
Yes.
2.
Okay.
Holy moly.
So it managed to catch you, but you managed to duck out of the way of most of it. You take 1 point of bashing as it ends up hitting. It hit you with enough impact to maybe leave a little bit of a bruise on your shoulder, but because it's round and the way it was flung, it kind of hit and rolled and then went flying off your shoulder.
Okay, that was rude.
So after that happens, then Sly looks to the homeowner and he goes, "So you may want to head to a hotel, perhaps at least for a night, while we work on this. As you see, it's a tad more malevolent than we would have hoped."
Yeah. So he places a call at this point, and is telling his family that they're staying the night at a hotel.
There's a nice B&B.
Wow.
Can you
I'm
imagine?
outside, okay?
No, I know.
I mean,
Can you
I
imagine
probably
the-
has like a card for him. He could just like.
I swear you guys are pulling the Frighteners routine right now if you do that. And if you haven't seen the Frighteners, you need to.
Could you imagine the racket of like,
frightening?
Yeah.
oh, we've diagnosed your house is filled with spirits. Here, stay at
No,
our
it's such a
special
great movie.
Oh, it's
halfway
a-
house.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
So
Basically,
good.
Michael J.
Tell
Fox.
them we sent you, and you can get
Yeah.
15% off.
No, literally, yeah. So what it is Michael J. Fox is a psychic who can actually see and speak to ghosts. And he has 2 ghosts that will go in and haunt places for him.
Oh.
And so they make sure that they time it just right so that they see his ad, and so they'll know to call because he's like the only person in the area that can deal with that. He'll come in and give some sort of weird little routine or whatnot, and then they go away and he makes a quick buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole partnership. Like, it's legit.
Wow.
It's awesome.
And John Aston, the guy from Addams Family, plays this really, really ancient and decrepit gunslinger. Like he's a ghost, but he looks.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
That
a
makes sense now.
He's a
He's
ghost.
a hustler.
Yeah. He's a ghost, but he
And
looks
horny.
almost like a zombie. Yeah, that too. But yeah, but he looks like a zombie, like he's falling apart, like literally. But because he was a gunslinger, he has guns with him as well. And so if something bad comes up, they'll call in him, to help kind of clean up and shoot one of the bad guys, right? So, but it's cute. It's a funny movie,
And freaky, though, man.
but it is a little freaky. Yeah,
Great.
It might be a
it's
little
fun.
scary for me.
Great movie.
It's Michael J. Fox. Okay, I'll tell you what. Look at it this way: we got Lord of the Rings because of the Frighteners. True story.
The fuck? What?
Oh,
You didn't know that?
No.
oh, it's a Peter
That was
Jackson movie?
filmed in New Zealand, and all those computer banks that they came up with for that movie were then all used for the production of Lord of the Rings series.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
The more you know.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
And that's a true story. If you look it up, that's the lead in.
Thank you, the
Wow.
Frighteners.
Yep, the
Okay,
Frighteners.
no, it was a great movie, Frighteners.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, back in game.
Anywho.
So I have half a mind to call Sean.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure how to deal with this from here. Wait.
You do know that Shar can talk to spirits.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, I'm gonna text Charlotte and say, "Can you come inside, please?"
Right away, she texts back and comes inside.
Okay.
Do I see like the water and the steam and the
Yes.
message? Okay.
Maybe you can get through better than I've been doing. It doesn't seem receptive to me.
He wants us to get out. Why do you want us to get out? Or should I use my... Do you want me to read my spell? It says to summon dead, but it gives me like some modicum of power over them, I think.
That's what summoning does, right? But I believe you have to have their name, don't you? Or something belong to them.
But yeah, well, let's see. By the means of the spell, a necromancer can call out to the depths of the underworld and summon forth the spirit of one of the restless dead. This is resolved by a resisted roll between the necromancer and the wraith. Each rolls willpower against a difficulty of the opponent's willpower.
Oh, wow.
If the necromancer wins with even one success, the wraith hastens to come to the magician's side. The spell cannot become complemented by burning magic points or secum. This spell offers no guarantee that the wraith will be friendly. What the mummy does with the wraith when it arrives is another matter entirely. The spell can only be cast by a living mummy.
Yeah, it means you can't be in the underworld at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and make your roll.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's kind of potent. You don't have to have anything for it.
That's cool.
Oh, also, I just noticed via Necromantiae,
Willpower roll, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
via Necromantiae is a set of rituals, doesn't have any grades. So basically, I have all three of them.
Correct.
Okay. So I guess technically I can ward and expel.
I have 3 successes, a 10 and then 2 8s.
Nice. Okay. So you say something in Egyptian at this point.
Ancient Egyptian.
Yep. Drawing symbols in the air for no particular reason, hieroglyphs. I'm just kidding. But no, you say something and then you feel as if the spell that you have invoked may have done something to affect the situation. And that's where we're going to stop for the evening.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in Latin.
I know. Yeah.
In Latin.
Et tu so we have RP votes to do tonight here. So we're going to start off with George. RP vote.
I don't know. Let me see. I think I'm gonna give it to Brittany. Yeah, for
Thanks.
laying it out on the table.
Okay. Dale.
To George for his heartfelt plea for unity and getting that ball rolling.
Can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
I'm Mati
Why can't
of the
we be friends? Why
Captain
can't
Planet.
we
I'm
be
Mati,
friends?
and I'm okay with that.
Abby.
Well, since I was only here for part of the game, I'm gonna have to go for Sly for kind of just keeping everybody together. He kind of just
Okay.
took group leader.
Alrighty. Brittany.
George.
Okay. And then Rachel.
I am torn between George and Dale, but honestly, I'll go with Dale because he really was the catalyst for this because it was honestly necessary.
Hello, Vancouver by night. So we have a roll-off. George and Dale, I need you to jump into the chat and roll 1d10 to see who winds up getting the RP vote for tonight.
My Discord is still not working, and it's
Do
not
you
working on my. It's not working on my phone either.
You want
Do you
someone
want
to roll
us
for
to
you?
roll for you?
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, it is working on my phone. Wait. Hold on a second. Will George's dice roller work?
Can you beat a 7?
Oh yeah, it's just /R.
Yep.
Right.
Remember, roll with an accent. Oh, he can match it.
I got a 7.
Yep. So what we'll
So-
do is this.
The dice up.
What we will do is we're going to split it since it's a push, and you both get one.
Both. Yeah,
Nice.
you both deserve it. You did a great job.
Cool. Thank you.
Aw.
So cool. Thank you guys all for hanging out with us tonight. Tomorrow is Marvel Superheroes at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hang out with us and tune in then and check out the game, see what's going on. And then next Wednesday, You're going to say something, Rachel?
No, I was just gonna ask if Cade was gonna stick around for a little while, amidst
Oh,
all of our admissions and honesty with everybody, which is what he was wanting. So,
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I guess.
No, after
Yeah.
spilling our guts, he decided
For real.
not.
you guys are a
not
bunch of
into it.
losers. Sheesh.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
not
he's,
worth it.
Yeah, he's actually learned that you all are a bunch of weirdos, and he's decided he can find better friends elsewhere.
Better
Wow.
weirdos?
Jerk.
Not likely.
So
I thought you all were cool.
and so
Oh my gosh.
next Wednesday on the 25th is going to be our Rift Survivors Dawn game. So tune in for that. We're going to find out just what's happening with our erstwhile heroes, and will they make it to the Tranquil Zone or not? They're right on the doorstep, so hopefully they will. That starts at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thank you guys all for hanging out with us and the chats and the point redemptions, and we will catch you again next time. Good night, guys.
Bye.